podcast is a presentation of Wcxo Sports. Wcxo Sports, since 1999, the sports voice of the Carlisle Indians, the Central Cougars, the Mater Dei Knights, and the Westland Warriors, presents Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7. Talkin' Sports is powered by Hoffman Supermarket, the only choice for quality meats and friendly service. Talkin' Sports is brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. McKendree University in Lebanon. Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department in Hoffman. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers, with locations in Breeze and Highland, and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Here's the host of Talkin' Sports, Rip Notmeyer.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Talkin' Sports. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio. On track tonight, we'll talk basketball again, first with Westland Lady Warriors coach Ben Crawford, and later we hop on over to McKendree for women's hoops coach Carrie Kirkhoff. And, of course, this being a Wednesday and all, we have the Easy and Travel Sports Flashback. Tonight, we tee up pro baseball's Brian Dinkelman, but we begin with scores and stuff, which comes your way, courtesy of Isaac Auto Body in Carlisle. See them for 24-hour towing and collision repair. And on the Tucker Electric guest line, we drop down south to Carterville for a former Centralia Orphans dribbler, Scott Warnsman. Scott, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Rip. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, those golden days as an Orphans hoopster with Coach Carling and company. Weren't they fun?
they were fun. I was more of a Bogle guy.
Well, you're in a how did that fall?
I was a Bob Bogle prodigy. When I talked to Coach Carling about anything Orphan, he asked me if I remember him coaching, and I say, Coach, I wasn't born yet.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen Jeff Carling lately, by the way?
No, we've talked quite a bit, though. They have left their place down in Tennessee and
right.
Eventually got back down south to West Palm, but we still talk on a pretty regular basis.
Yeah, Carling, Bogle. They've had some great coaches over there and some super teams, so sometimes the years. Well, let's kick it off officially on scores and stuff with some college football chat and quite a game. Well, the second half, especially, of course. Bama does it again. They win it 26-23 in OT over the Georgia Bulldogs. The All-SEC final turned out to be a good clash at Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta.
It was a pretty good ball game. I'm sure a lot of folks, especially around our area, are probably all Big Ten people and probably aren't much of the SEC fandom and probably don't like Alabama. And they were probably thinking, hey, this may be a blowout, but it was a tale of two halves. And I just thought it was a great final game. And I thought the two games on New Year's Day were great games as well.
Yeah, I really love it, especially that first. We might have to get back into that a little bit. In this one, though, a true freshman comes through, and just think of the criticism Nick Saban would have taken had Tua Tagovailoa failed, but I tell you, he pulls the right switches most of the time, and he is a great coach, isn't he?
Oh, there's no arguing with that. I mean, I was, I watched all that game, and when I saw him come out there, I started scratching my head, and I'm thinking, this guy has won a few more national championships than I've won, but my goodness, I'm sure everybody was thinking, Alabama's done, and they bring this freshman in who's hadn't played any meaningful snaps all year long, and then he's just out there spinning the ball, and that's what Chris Fowler kept saying. Every time he threw it, he looked like it was so easy coming out of his left hand. But
it was effortlessly. That's what it's saying. He completed 14 passes for 166, 3 scores. I know he had 1 interception. Was that it? I believe, right?
That was it. Yeah, and you talk about the 3 touchdowns, but to come in a pressure situation, go into the overtime, and I mean, no bigger throw than what he made to win that game in overtime.
What a bullet that was! A 41-yard, just a great airstrike to Devontae Smith, and that capped it all off. But yeah, I mean, you've got Jalen Hurts, who's always been, under some cloud of, can he really? I mean, as far as a passer and stuff, but still. He has a 25-2 record over his couple of seasons with Bama, and he might be the offensive player of the year in the conference. And to scratch him from the lineup and bring in Tua, well, it worked out. And my goodness, so that's number what? That's 5 for Saban at Bama and 6 overall.
6 overall, and I mean, you can't argue with what he's done. But getting back to the Jalen Hurts, I don't know if this was fake TV or what, but every play, he was the first one out there to congratulate that that came in. And, I mean, it was just – I mean, it's something that you have to like as a coach, seeing, he's picking up his teammates, and he could just go pout, but he didn't.
No, he I mean, whether it was a show or not, he did all the right stuff on the sidelines, and that was great. If something else went on afterwards, who knows? But he was the perfect teammate, and he was always, he's talking to Tua on the sidelines when their defense was on the field and so forth. So, in many ways, and I really relish those old timers, and really going back now, which he was around but Paul Bear Bryant, I didn't see any of that stuff, but he has the 6 also. But I think just when you size them up according to all the numbers and you throw in, I mean, now especially these last few, according to the playoff system, these are actual championships by Saban. Even going back to BCS, at least they pinned it down to 2 and so forth. I mean, it's none of this writer's stuff. And some of those titles in those back days, I believe 1 or 2 of those were split titles too for Paul Bear Bryant. I mean, you really have to give serious considerations to Nick Saban being the all-time best in college.
Oh, there's no question about that, because now it comes down to just winning a game, and if you win, you're the champion, not win and hope or split, and like you had mentioned. And I think now there's a lot more parity, and to do it now as compared to when Bear Bryant or Eric Parseghian was doing it with Notre Dame. I mean, 40 years ago it was Alabama, Notre Dame, and maybe Texas, maybe Nebraska. But now you can list a lot of teams, because I think kids are not just focused on those schools. They can go anywhere they want. They got social media. They know what's going on at these schools. And so I think it's, I mean, 6 is 6. I'm not trying to trump Bear Bryant.
No, I get you.
What Nick's done lately is pretty amazing. And
having said all of that, I think a whole bunch of people can make a very good argument for Alabama not even being in that 14 field.
And I think a lot of people will. I mean, I saw a lot of social media stuff where people talk top to bottom about the Big Ten being the best conference, and I'm not worried about top to bottom. I mean, let's get real. If we're talking top to bottom, any time Illinois football's in the conference, they're not that good of a conference.
However, go to the SEC in Missouri and see the teams they beat. There are some bad clubs when Missouri reels off 3 or 4 in a row.
Oh, absolutely. But to base it on an entire conference, I think you're kind of shortchanging the upper echelon of the conference, where you had Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin. Right. Then you had Georgia, Alabama, Auburn. So to base it on an entire conference thing, I think is kind of crazy. But I think they got the best 4 teams in there. I mean, I think and you probably talked about this at length after it happened, but Ohio State losing to Iowa as bad as they did.
I know it. But you know what? It's still 1 loss. If that happens in the NFL, so what? It's 1 loss. The part that really gets me, and I love watching Bama play, and I'm all right with Saban. And but I still remember a year or 2 ago when he says, "Hey, that conference championship should mean something." And his team is sitting at home the last week. They're not even in the conference championship, so they don't have an opportunity to win or lose it. And It's almost like they backed in. And then don't forget about the game against Mercer, and they only play 9. They only play 8 conference games, right? Everybody else plays 9. I mean, there are some 8. Things to, yeah. And still, I love the playoff as is, and I want it to go to 8. But I mean, there's a good case for Ohio State, and I know now you say, well, if Ohio State or USC or Central Florida, baby, got in there, who knows what they would have done? Do you remember? They beat Bama years ago, and they beat Auburn, who beat both of these teams.
Yep, and I thought Auburn was a pretty good team when they beat Auburn, or when they beat Alabama, when they beat Georgia, and then they lay an egg against Georgia in the title game, but kudos to Central Florida.
Central Florida. And they celebrated we're back to a mythical. They celebrated their mythical championship at Disney World, of all places, Fantasyland. That was pretty cool, though. And now I saw it today where they all banded together and piled up some money and put up a billboard in Tuscaloosa about, hey, we want a home-and-home series with you.
Yeah, I saw that. You know, it seems like now everybody's getting a parade. I mean, the Cleveland Browns got one.
Yes.
16, and so.
Well, if anybody... And that was a 0-degree day in Cleveland, and I just saw a little bit of it where 2,000 or 3,000 fans showed up, and it was part fun and part angry, but that was pretty cool. So college football, hey, as far as the pigskin goes, that's my baby now. I put away the NFL, but before we get to that, I do see where Drew Lock is staying at Missouri, and that's the smart, although he's going to play, he's going to face maybe tougher defenses in the SEC next year, a couple of those teams that he will in the NFL, depending on who he would have played against. But it's probably a smart move, especially when they told him to don't come, just stay in school.
Just stay there, and I think the writing's on the wall if they're going to tell you that.
Yeah, I saw all of his reasons for staying, and somehow he didn't mention that. They told me I wasn't good enough. I don't blame him. I wouldn't have either, but... A couple things on the NFL. John Gruden, the prodigal son, is back home, at least for a year or two, but 10 years contract-wise for around $100 million. I like Gruden. Is he that good?
I don't know. He had the one good year, and then everything else seems like it's went south. And you talked about him being around a year or two. He's got 10 years and $10 million to maybe be around a little bit longer.
Yeah, I just meant in Oakland itself before they hustle all over to Vegas.
He had the cushy job of Monday Night Football. Who in the world does not, wasn't watching that stuff? And he's going back and having to call some plays and getting back after it after he was, doing bringing all the college quarterbacks in and putting them through his camp and everything. And I was a Gruden fan as well. And I'm
fine with
glad he ended up there instead of ending up at maybe, let's say, the New York Giants. So.
Yeah, he hasn't coached now since 2008 when the Bucks fired him. So, and that championship was 16 years ago. And his winning percentage, I checked the other day, 54% overall. That's kind of pretty average, really. He has the one Super Bowl, of course, after Oakland traded him to Tampa Bay.
Right.
It'd be interesting. Outside of the money, of course, the pressure's on now. I mean, after all, Del Rio did okay last year. They went 12-4. Suddenly he's a terrible coach. So.
Yeah, same with the guy in New York. He makes it to the playoffs last year at 11-5.
I know.
I mean, the wheels just fell off this year. But
anything else you want to mount up on the air about the NFL? I have not been watching. Obviously, I kind of follow, know what's going on just by seeing Sports Center and whatever the case may be. But I'm not watching the game for main reasons is as far as simplify it. Bashing America. I really don't go for that
sure.
stuff. That's the simple and clean part of it.
I'm a Dallas Cowboy apologist, so my football kind of ended when they lost to the Seahawks in week 16, so the 15th game of the year. 15, but I don't know. I wouldn't mind. I'd love to see. I'd love to see what New Orleans is doing. I like watching Drew Brees play. I think he can really throw the ball. I'd love to see a New Orleans Super Bowl if it happens.
Could happen. Yeah, Brady. He's not the only old guy who can still toss it. So can Brees. Wild card ratings were down, by the way, an average of 14% from last year. Just last weekend, down 14%. And I'm telling you, a lot of those people who watch football, bless you're out, whatever. And I used to be one of my faves, and it's taken a hit. But there's an awful big chunk of that. It's fantasy football. They don't even care who wins. They just follow to see what their players are doing, what their team does in their leagues.
Oh, there's a lot of people who do not watch games. They watch the bottom of whatever game is on to see
or the red zone,
across,
whatever. Yeah,
and, yeah.
The Blues. They've lost 3 in a row. Break the ice.
They got some struggle going on up there. I think they're 4-5-1 in their last 10, and middle of the pack there in that Central Division. That
Central Division is mighty, mighty tough. That's for sure. And now they've got. I don't like that. They've got this mandatory 5-day break. I don't get this stuff. I can see that 3-day thing or whatever it is at Christmas for everybody at once, but this is weird. They've done this the last 2 or 3 years, haven't they?
Yeah, it's weird to me as well. You know, they played on the 9th, which was last night, and like you mentioned, the game against Florida. Then they don't play again until the 16th at Toronto. So.
Yeah, it actually goes longer than that, really. And they have 3, even 4 games in hand on a few teams, and I mean I think they'll be fine in the playoffs, and that's why I don't get too busted over some of these losses. It's not like a 16-game football season, but they need to pick it up. Vegas, that's just a remarkable story, isn't it? The Golden Knights.
It's a heck of a story to be a new franchise like that and doing what they're doing, and you usually don't see that. Whenever we've seen expansion. And I know that some people say it's not your real expansion type. It's
changed,
when you had in baseball and football. Right. But we talk baseball and football expansions. Usually that first year, those teams were awful.
I mean, they've got some frontline players starting with their goalie, Fleury. I mean, that's where it all began, I believe. But, it's Tampa Bay has 65, and they're next with 60s. And they haven't I mean, the Blues beat them. I don't know if they've I'm not sure. But incidentally, you better watch Chicago. I saw a lot of people making fun of Chicago on Twitter the other day. You know, they're 6 above 500. They have 4 games in hand on the Blues. They're only 7 points in back of them. I mean, don't count out the Blackhawks yet.
No, you definitely
for everything, for the whole ball of wax. I mean, they're capable.
Well, maybe this is the year. You know, St. Louis has had some great regular seasons, and everybody gets all excited about it, and then end up laying an egg in the playoffs. Maybe this is a year where you kind of back into it like the old good baseball Cardinals used to do, and they back in and then end up making a long playoff run. So.
Jake Allen is also terrible. Like he had that same stretch last year too, and man, he's taken a lot of bashing on it, which I get to a degree. But I mean, it's he popped out of it last year, so maybe he will this year too. He probably will, in fact.
Well, maybe the break will do him some good. I mean, you just hate to, and any sport seeing that a week layoff like that. You know, with our baseball All-Star game, you get.
They've stretched it out some now to
there's a game in the middle of it with the All-Star game, but it's a mandatory break, so take it easy and get ready to go back on the 16th.
Well, it did come at a good time if you have to take it. That's for sure, since they're stumbling and bumbling right now. Illinois, I didn't expect much from them this year, and I think that's what I'm going to get. Although I hope for the best, and I hope for a quick upward trend under Coach Brad Underwood come next year if they don't somehow glide it together yet this season.
It's tough watching them play, Rip. I mean, I just wanted to see, Mark Smith do some good things for him and see how Mike Finke's going to finish out his career. But it's tough watching what they've done so far in the conference. I believe they're 0-4. They have a game against Iowa tomorrow night, and then they've got, I believe, Wisconsin and Michigan State coming up. And so losing some of those early games before Christmas when they lost that game to Maryland.
2 overtime losses, Northwestern and Maryland.
Yeah. And the Maryland game, Illinois was coming down on a fast break and should not have been a fast break. Pulled the ball out, and they threw an alley-oop, and the ball was up over the backboard, and it went into overtime, and it was just – you had to shake your head at that.
Yeah, the Salukis, one other team I just want to mention, hanging around that mediocre standpoint, really, 10-8, 2-3 in league play. I understand they only have 9 healthy bodies right now, so that's not going to bode well for Coach Barry Hinson.
No, I've listened to Coach Hinson on his show down here, and it's tough to practice, or they can't practice. I mean, you got to throw a manager in, and I know coming back after Christmas or to start the second semester, he was trying to see if he could pick up a couple of football players that were athletic enough to be able to
happens.
Play.
That's some major programs once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's surely enough talented athletes, basketball players around campus. That's for sure.
I would think so, but it's just a shame that injuries happen to every team in the country, and you just got to shake them off. You feel bad for the kids that get hurt, but it's no excuse. And I know they were up at Bradley last night and ended up losing by 4, and with the attendance hasn't been very good at the home games, and it's a lot of rumblings going on. Yeah, definitely. Baseball's really, really quiet. So, I don't know. You have some 2 cents or more to throw in. It's dead right now. Something's got to break, man, with a couple of these free agents. Absolutely something pitchers, has to break. I mean, there's some good guys out there, and I can think of 2 pitchers, one being a former Cardinal, Lance Lynn, and Arrieta, who do not have places to work coming. I'd take Lance Lynn back right now, today. No, I would have never let it. I would have signed him. I mean, tried to. It's always his option. But and now Lynn, he's like me. He's like you. He's like a lot of us. They can make him a mega deal now, and I don't think he'd come back to him. And you're right. They being the Cardinals might have burned some bridges with him. And you hear the talk about how the Cardinals are close to a deal with Arrieta. And to me, if you look at the two pitchers, Lance Lynn is better going forward. I mean, the Jake Arrieta from 2015 was a great pitcher. I don't see that anymore.
No, and I always like to keep what you got. Why, in effect, maybe make a trade, Arrieta here and Lynn up there? I mean, just keep with what you know and what you have.
And I'm absolutely 100% behind you on that. And the one thing that I think is that Lynn probably wanted some more years.
Oh, sure.
And Arrieta may be closing in on the end of a career, so he could take less years. But I know the Cubs offered him that qualifying offer, which I think is right around 15.5, 15.6, something like that. So,
but he'll get as many as he wants. I mean, he's going to get at least 4. He will. And he's only a year older than Lynn, I think. 31 to 30, right around there, both of them.
Yeah, you're right. Difference. And I just think, and I could be wrong, and maybe
you're never wrong.
Blinded by my hatred of the Cubs, but I thought his days were numbered. He had his better days were behind him, sort of thing. But I'm excited with what they did with Ozuna and not giving up. I mean, the entire busload of talent that they think they have in the farm system. But like you said, it has been quiet. But I still think, and every Cardinal fan says they either need to get a pitcher, a first baseman, or a third baseman, and if you do one of those, get a first baseman, Carpenter goes back to third, or vice versa. So
I think they need a quality starter more than anything. If you just get one, they don't have enough pitching.
And who's out on the market? If you had to get a free agent, right?
I don't know. That's why I would just kept Lynn, and they make it too complicated. All too complicated.
I think so.
Although Scott, I would take. I consider Arrieta if he pays for his own steroids. In that case, maybe go with it. Otherwise, no. Hey, Scott, we got to roll, man. Thanks a bunch. You always do a super job. I got to go back. What were those years you played for the Orphans again in basketball? I remember you out there, man. What year? How far did we go back?
Graduated in 93.
93. Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Long time ago.
Yeah. You're young. If only I were that young. But you act old, so that's good.
Oh, yeah.
You're mature. That's maturity, right?
That's right.
See you, Scott. Have a great new year.
Thank you, Rip. See you later.
All right. Scott Warsman from Carterville. That was Scores and Stuff brought to you by Isaac Auto Body in Carlisle. See them for 24-hour towing and collision repair. We'll dust it off for Ben Crawford and Kerry Kirkhoff. We have the sports flashback, too. Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955. Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Imming Insurance Agency at 594-4536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Imming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tim Draghi, a general dentist from Breeze, Illinois, who sedates patients with pills. I treat a lot of patients who have not been to the dentist in 10 to 20 years. Most had a bad experience as a child. Others are embarrassed to go or are concerned the dentist will scold them. We know these feelings are real and believe in listening to your problems and concerns. I will do all of this without putting you down or making you feel guilty. My team and I want to make a difference in the way you feel about dentistry. Please call me, Dr. Tim Draghi, at 526-2020 to schedule an appointment, or look at our website at breezedentalcare.com, where sedation dentistry is an option for you to take care of your teeth without anxiety.
Are you looking for a happy dental home? Dr. Draghi and Dr. Santel are in-network providers with many insurance companies and have what you are looking for. New patients welcome and most emergencies seen immediately. Get back on the right track to good dental health with Breeze Dental Care. Call 526-2020. That's 526-2020.
I'd like to start a campaign to blow the buttons off people's radios. Is that realistic?
This is Max 96.7.
Welcome back, everybody. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio. We trip on the Tucker Electric guest line for Westland Lady Warriors basketball coach Ben Crawford. Ben, welcome back.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going just fine, and it had been for you, I know, in the Lebanon tournament stuff. A little tricky time since, I guess. You've lost your last 3 since that tournament at Lebanon, including Monday at Freeburg, the first quarter that threw a wrench into your plans, I guess.
Yeah, the first quarter, it's either been good or bad for us this year. You know, it seems like that's, you know, we either get a good lead and helps us compete, or, you know, we fall behind, and that's what ends up being, because, you know, you're right, because we played right with them the other 3 quarters, 26-22, the rest of the way. So, I mean, that first quarter, yeah, that sealed it for it. But, you know, I mean, our schedule just doesn't get easy.
No.
You come out of the Lebanon tournament, you got to play Greenville, Columbia, Freeburg away, you know, and then we got Oakville and Civic Memorial this week too. So I mean, it just keeps going for us. But
you can No, you can take some solace, man. I know you want the victories, of course, but man, you played them much tougher than you did that first time around when they they beat you 48-15. This time it was a 13-point ball game, and again, most of that was done in quarter 1.
Yeah, exactly. We just I don't know if we were ready to play that first time. Didn't know what to expect too much. You know, we'd seen them a little bit, but that first time we played Freeburg, but it's you know, they're a lot better team than they've been in the past. You know, Coach Crunk really has them playing hard, and she's done a really good job with that group. So yeah, they're a darn good team. I'm just glad we were able to compete a little bit better this second time around. You're right.
You did fade recently to Greenville and then Columbia as well, and that's another situation. The first time the Lady Eagles they clubbed you pretty good, but not this time. It was a 9-point contest, and
yeah.
Maybe a third time. You need a third meeting with Columbia and Freeburg, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I you know, and that's just the sign we're getting better. You know, we're still young. We only got 1 senior, so, and not very much varsity experience. Only 2 varsity starters back from last year. So, you know, it's you know, we just want to keep grinding and getting better, and I think we're doing a good job of that right now. So the girls are building a little bit more confidence as the season's going on. We're doing a little bit of things defensively different, and to really help us out in the second half of the year and helping us compete, because we did a really good job. I felt like the beginning half of the season, the first 8 games, we had a chance to win every single one of those, and then we kind of fell off a little bit, and then now we're getting back on that grind and competing again and putting ourselves in good situations in these games. So I'm kind of glad to see that out of the young team to pick it up.
Now, obviously, you want to bank those victories, but you are looking as well for overall improvement, like you mentioned. Yeah. You are getting that. That is always welcome as you head down the stretch here.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, and it comes down the stretch, you know, and you know, teams see that we've competed with some good schools. I mean, it's not it you know, it kind of can get in the head of a team. Hey, it's not a give me. We're not going to be a give me to anybody, I don't think, down the stretch. You know, we're going to keep playing hard. And we're going to get after it, and you know, and again, you know, that competition and that level that we're playing at, the teams that we're playing right now, playing that heavier competition can only help us. You know, so I think we're just going to keep getting better.
What about that? I forgot that flip of the coin game against Carlisle at your place. 4 overtimes. You've had some real battles over recent times.
Yeah, exactly. Again, another competitive game. And you know, go 4 overtimes. And really, it almost could have gone 5. I mean, there was they got fouled with 1.7 seconds and made one free throw. Yeah. You know, so you know, that's you know, you almost knew it was going to come down to a foul late, you know, and you know, we were on the wrong side of the coin, like you said. So for that, but yeah, that was a good game, you know, overall. I mean, for both teams to battle and play in that overtime game. I know the girls were exhausted afterwards.
Have to be. How about the coaches, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I think I woke up sore the next morning. Yeah.
That's when you know you had a crazy game. But yeah, Brooklyn Smith canned a free throw with a second or less, whatever.
Yeah.
Very, very late in the proceedings of the fourth extra session. But you had some success over the Lebanon tournament as you split 4 games there.
Yeah, it was nice to get in the tournament and get in those games, and we were seated kind of low in the tournament, but and the girls and and myself, we knew that with the competition that we had played before, that we could compete with anybody, and so we got a couple good games in there, and we were able to pull one out against Chester, and we shot really well in that game, and we rebounded extremely well in that game, and then we pulled one out against Steelville and got us to that consolation championship game against Redbud. And Redbud, that was like an exception for us. We played a good first quarter against them, and then the second quarter they tore us up. So
that tournament, incidentally, Ben, is that rotating between Lebanon and Westland, or just
it was
all right.
It started off that way, and then Westland decided not to do it, and so Lebanon is just going to continue to host it now.
Because I heard both ways just over the Christmas break there, and in fact the boys, they are, I do believe, going back and forth between Westland and Mascoutah. I believe that tournament is okay.
Yes, that is true. It was between the boys was between Westland and Lebanon, but then Lebanon gave it up, and Mascoutah picked it up. So they now that boys is Westland and Mascoutah rotation there.
2 very good venues there. Your lone senior, Ellie Wessel, posting another good bunch of good sets of numbers again, huh?
Yeah, she's doing really great for us. She's been my starting point guard for 3 years now, and just not only just putting some numbers up points wise and everything like that, but she's a good leader out on the court. Plays extremely hard every day, and just it just does everything I asked and a little bit more. So she's an awesome senior to have.
I don't think I have the completely up-to-date stats, but she's around 11, 12, 13 a game. And with her, Jenna Hazelhorst, who is a junior, and she's in that same territory as far as points per game. And also, she clocks a lot of threes, hits those free throws too.
Yeah, she's really improving too. She just like you said, knocking down threes when we need them.
Over 40%, man. That's great.
She's really picked up her percentage wise. It started off, the season didn't start off that well.
Is that right?
But she made a couple of games, but she's shooting a lot. But and then now it's a little bit more consistent, and shooting a lot more, a better percentage, taking better shots. So she's doing a really good job for us too. And with those 2 leading the way with the scoring, and then now, like I said, the other girls are starting to pick it up and get a little bit more confidence shooting the ball, and we're starting to have a little bit more diversity in the scoring column there.
I do want to ask you about 2 more for sure, Ben. That kicker, that field goal kicker, extra point, Kaylee Taylor. No, I got her name wrong again. I was trying to think what
Toller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football coach and I, we went back and forth on that. I think at the end of the year we finally had it right. So Tyler, how's she doing? How much action has she seen?
She saw a lot of action in the Lebanon tournament. She kind of, she at the beginning of the season, she had still was messing with a hip flexor injury that she had got from the football, and so we were taking it pretty light on that. And then it seemed like it was getting better, and she started to get a few more minutes here and there, and she got a lot of action, like I said, in that Lebanon tournament. But she's dealing with that hip flexor injury again, so I'm not sure how long she'll be out, or she'll be coming back right now. So but when she's been healthy, she's been able to give us some good minutes.
Kaylee Toller. I'm going to save that for next fall. And at least one freshman. Do you have more than one, or is it Bailey Bell? Is she the only one on your varsity
Bailey
roster?
Bailey Bell's the only one on the varsity roster this year, and she's given us a couple minutes here and there. And she's and a lot of the freshmen are still learning. So yeah.
Heck yeah. But the younger set doing okay at the JV level, even if
they're doing. Yeah. They're doing okay. They're like I said, they got a lot to learn, and we got they just keep plugging away, and they're working hard in practice. And with JV, our JV team's doing fairly well. So, we're just going to keep getting better. That's all it really is. We just got to keep working and getting better, and that's what I like to see.
And you do have a very good and exciting Oakville team at Wash County tomorrow night, and then the Highland tournament tips off Saturday morning. In fact, you open it all up at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Oakville will be tough tomorrow. I mean, for sure. They're playing. I mean, I know they've had. I don't even know. I think Hackstad's going to be back in a little bit.
Is she coming back?
I don't know, but
I hope so. I hope
so too. But even if she doesn't, that group of girls that they're playing with really good chemistry right now. They're just that's as well as I've seen them play in a while too. So, I mean, they've been playing well, pretty good. But they're really on a roll right now with how they're playing. And then, like you said, the Highland tournament open it up against Civic Memorial, and Civic Memorial they're loaded with talent on that team, and they really get after you on the defensively full court, and so we got our hands full with a couple of good games there, a couple tough teams.
Well, Ben, keep notching some wins whenever you can and more, but along the same line, also which you're well aware, you want to keep building this team for the long haul too, and that means beyond this year and in the near future. And
exactly,
it definitely can be done. I know Carlisle really improved from last season. There's another example right there. Just getting that 1 year of playing time.
Exactly, you're right. So that's the main goal. We always want to, like you said, we want to notch the wins when we can, but just trying to improve and get better, and maybe next year we get to notch a few more wins. So.
Thanks a lot, Ben.
Yep, no problem.
Good luck to you as we head down. Like I say, the stretch is amazing. It's near. It closes out in a hurry. It really does.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Does. All right. Thank you.
Ben Crawford. We always appreciate his time as well, of course. And we're going to get some minutes out of Carrie Kirchhoff from the McHenry women's basketball team later on. But on the other side, it's the sports flashback. Hang in there on Talking Sports for a Wednesday night.
Seaver Brothers has what you're looking for. Take a spin with Seaver Brothers and drive home in your new or pre-owned Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge truck today. Let Seaver Brothers give you the car buying experience that no other dealership can offer. Seaver Brothers stands behind their products and also has an outstanding service department with qualified technicians to keep your vehicles running strong. Stop by Seaver Brothers, 811 Washington Street in Carlisle, or call 594-2624 for your next Seaver Brothers sales associate.
Insuring your home and auto with Pekin Insurance equals a sizable discount. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department may save you as much as 30% on homeowners premiums and up to 15% on auto premiums if you insure both with Pekin Insurance. Call Farmers State Bank Insurance Department at 495-2965 for details about multi-policy discounts and learn what beyond the expected coverage and savings are all about.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal government agency, not guaranteed by the bank, may go down in value.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-643-6931 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-643-6931 to take your call now. Call 1-800-643-6931. That's 1-800-643-6931. Again, 1-800-643-6931.
Flying in the face of conventional wisdom.
There's no rules and no laws and lots of litter.
Every day.
This is Max 96.7.
Oh, man, I just checked my wallet. Unfortunately, I only have $2 on me. Hey, the time is 6:40. That time drop is brought to you by Breeze Furniture, Jan's Uniforms. We are stuck happily in the Carlisle Meat Market Studios. Time to turn it over to the flashback.
It's Flashback.
Get ready to flash back with the Easy In Travel Sports Flashback. Escape to paradise with Easy In Travel and Breeze. Call 526-2201.
Well, with my change, I'm up to 255. This is from September 23rd of last year. It's Cedar Rapids Colonel's batting coach Brian Dinkelman on his other duties with the Twins Class A club. What did you end up doing on the side kind of this year? I mean, did you work with the infielders, even the outfielders, base running, what?
Most of the time I was with the outfielders. Me and Tommy kind of split it up. He usually took the infielders for most of the time, and I had outfield work also, and then we kind of split duties as, I guess, base running, trying to help out, and just overall with any part of the game on the position player-wise, we just kind of try to help them with whatever we could and pass along any knowledge we had.
You got pretty, with those outfielders, what a switch. You were an infielder for most of your career. I mean, all the way through high school, college, and so forth, but you played the garden spot some in the pros, didn't you?
Yeah, I was able to play a little bit of both, infield and outfield. I got called up there and played second base to start, and then I started playing left field and right field. So by the end of my career there, the last 2-3 years, I had just about every position down.
Yeah, that's coming into play for you now too. It's done you good here.
Yeah, having a little experience of all those positions is able to, I guess, relate with some of the players, those positions, and help them out whenever they have questions about them.
Yeah, they can't say, man, you never played outfield.
Right. I show them how to do it out there a little bit.
What? Is this real? Hey, yo, sir. Do you know what I'm about to pay for gasoline?
With the Fuel Rewards Network program, you won't believe how much less you can pay for your fill-up at participating Shell stations.
Look at that.
Just shop through fuelrewards.com and dine at participating restaurants to earn rewards. Then use your Fuel Rewards Network card at Shell and save. Want to pay less for fuel? Sign up free at fuelrewards.com. Restrictions apply. Limit 20 gallons per purchase per vehicle. For information on rewards expiration and other details, see fuelrewards.com.
Companies are hiring again. That's good news. Bad news, you don't have the skills they're looking for. Kaskaskia College can fix that. KC's welding technology program can set you up with the skills industries are looking for. More good news, classes are available at KC's Trenton Center or Crisp Technology Center. Call Sean Morris at 545-3406. The demand is there, the pay is there. Where are you? Kaskaskia College, your future starts here. Planning a remodel or building a new home? Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton can get you started. Ideal Home Solutions has quartz, granite, solid surface, and laminate, with granite starting at just $49 per square foot. Ideal Home Solutions proudly sells Haas cabinets and specializes in custom showers, any size to fit your space. From tubs, whirlpools, vanity tops, windowsills, you're covered. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, 224-2500, or see their showroom at 102 West Broadway in Trenton.
A Shell expert is underwater to demonstrate the importance of protection. My partner will play your engine, menaced by performance-robbing gunk, and playing the engine gunk, 3 man-eating sharks. Don't worry, folks. His shark cage represents Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. Release the sharks! All 3 grades of Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines act as a barrier that helps shield and protect critical engine parts. So go ahead, folks. Protect your engine with Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines.
Fill up at your area clean and convenient CC Food Mart locations.
Scientists say the universe is random. Why should your radio station be any different?
You've got Max 96.7.
Hello again, everyone. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio on this Wednesday. Stand by for Kerry Kirchhoff. Meanwhile, are you looking for your next pre-owned truck, maybe SUV? If so, Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. They can do that magic trick for you, okay? And all of their pre-owned vehicles pass. This is a very important, man. A thorough inspection. You want it to run when you get that baby out of their shop, okay? Most of them even come with Diane's exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty at no cost to you. No cost to you. So see your consultant for all of the details. Diane Chevrolet's friendly, no-pressure staff is dedicated to getting you behind the wheel of your dream car. Call Dwayne. Dwayne's been there forever. Nikki, Dave, or Nathan at 224-9200, 224-9200. Diane Chevrolet. It's the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Shop there, schedule your service there, whatever. In fact, go through DianeChevrolet.com. Up and coming, Kerry Kirchhoff from McKendree University. McKendree University is a great place to continue your sports career. It's also a great place to continue your education. McKendree offers a wide range of degrees, including master's degrees in business, nursing, education, and professional counseling. If you'd like, you can access McKendree's quality education through the flexibility of online degrees. To learn more about McKendree, log on to McKendreeOnline.com or call 1-800-BEARCAT. McKendree University is ready when you are.
When's the last time you had your eyes checked? Schedule an eye exam today at Breeze Family Vision Center or Lebanon Optometric Center. I'm Dr. Claire Thorpe-Klinsky, and if it's been more than a year, you might need a new prescription. If you use a computer regularly or are suffering from allergies, those both can be causes of eye strain or fatigue. Schedule a complete eye health exam today to find out if your eyes are healthy. We may be able to detect glaucoma and other eye diseases early. At Breeze Family Vision and Lebanon Optometric Center, we examine more than just your vision.
Southern Bus and Mobility is your Bronability dealer in Breeze. Southern Bus and Mobility stocks the most popular wheelchair-accessible vans from Bronability, including lowered-floor minivans with side or rear entry ramps. In addition to personal wheelchair vans, Southern Bus and Mobility has a huge line of commercial buses, school buses, and mobility products to buy or rent. They also sell and can install wheelchair scooter lifts, hand controls, and special turning seats. Call 526-4131. Stop by east of Breeze on Old Route 50 or southernbusandmobility.com.
If you're looking for Nissan quality, be sure to check out what Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan and Centralia has to offer. Munkins has the entire field covered with a great lineup of Nissans, including Maximas, Altimas, and Sentras, SUVs and crossovers, and Titan and Frontier trucks. And you can relax when you shop Munkins because you know you're getting the better deal every time, along with terrific service after the sale. For your Nissan, log on to Munkin1.com, or better yet, visit Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in person, Route 161 West in Centralia.
What were we thinking when we designed the station? I'll tell you. We were thinking it takes all sorts to make a world.
Max 96.7.
Another hour is zipping along. This is Rick from the Cloud Meat Market Studio, and this is Talking Sports for a Wednesday night. Let's tag the Tucker Electric guest line one more time, this time for McKendree women's basketball coach Carrie Kirchhoff. Carrie, welcome back.
Hello, how we doing?
Good, and I believe you are too. You hit the airwaves as a winner. You knocked off the University of Illinois Springfield Saturday by a 7 spot.
We did. Actually, it was kind of a nice home. We haven't been home for a little while, so it was great to be back in our home gym, and came out, we were up as much as 20. So we had a nice first half. About the middle of the third quarter, we kind of let some momentum swing the other direction, but it was a great win for our team, just being a young program with quite a few freshmen and sophomores out on the court, in terms of still being able to come out and be successful in that and handle a little pressure at the end of the game.
You placed 4 girls in double figures. Jordan is at Hayberg. She paved the way with a game-high 19 markers.
Yeah, Jordan Heberg has a nice game. She's able to shoot the 3 for us, hit the pull-up, attack the basket, and just a nice athlete on our team. And along with her, we have Madison Hart, who is also in double figures. And we also had Jordan Morton, who had a double-double that game. So that was kind of a highlight as well.
12 rebounds?
Yeah, she's just a rebounding machine. She's one that... If for some reason she is sitting on the bench and we're not getting boards, I usually call her name and say, Morton, go get some boards for us. And she just is a machine on the boards.
That's nice to have, if she is on the Pines, to get her off for that. So, and she struck for 14 points, as did we better mention this freshman, Callie Pullman. She also ripped the nets for 14.
She did. She's our starting point guard and has come in and she's just feisty, and she's constant, what I call kind of a gnat come defensively, and does a great job of picking up the ball and putting pressure on other opponents' point guards right away. And she just has a nice outside shot, but at the same time, she can get to the basket and finish, and she does a great job creating for others as well.
She's one of those Wisconsin girls, so you can't go wrong there, right?
Yep, exactly.
And I've seen her. I have not seen you in person or the men's, but I've taken advantage of that website a few times for the guys and the gals, and I've seen her play. So, and rebound, of which you spoke, that you had a big edge there in the board on the boards against UIS, and that was a key part of that victory.
It was actually, that was probably our number one focus going into the game. Illinois Springfield was ranked nationally in terms of rebounding.
Oh,
and
really?
we knew if we wanted to win the game, we had to keep them off the boards and play, what I call more of our tempo in terms of getting the ball and going, rather than what they want to do is maybe miss their first shot, not on purpose, but they get the offensive rebound, and now they're making you play defense for another 30 seconds and a little bit slower paced game. And so that was a huge focus all last week prior going into that game, and I thought our ladies did a fantastic job. I think it was, if I remember right, Rip, I think we got 53 boards altogether, and that was a huge number, I thought.
53-37 edge. Man, you were also right. It was December 18th since you played at Harry M. Statham Sports Center. So it'd been, what's that, about 3 weeks? Am I off on that? Or somewhere in that. Yep. And to grab the W it was especially good this time. They're all good. You want them you want as many as you can get, but it helped you carry them back from a previous, Thursday night loss anyway, at Wisconsin against Parkside.
That was a tough one. We kind of just struggled in terms of getting into a rhythm offensively. We would get in a rhythm, and then we'd kind of lose it for a couple minutes. I mean, I can't even tell you the number of times where we were down 10, and then it was like a one-possession game. And then the next thing you know it, we were down 10 again, and we'd fight back to one-possession game. We just couldn't ever get that lead in that game. I think I did a pretty good job of watching film afterwards and talking about being consistent in terms of energy. There was a lot of free throws shot in that game, and I felt like with a young team that was something that those lulls kind of hurt us in terms of keeping our energy and keeping our intensity and focus that we needed.
By the way, for those who don't, you did not get blown out. It was a 6-point game. That was it.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it was back and forth. I mean, it didn't feel like that type of game. It was back and forth most of the night.
How is Kenosha? And we had Coach Statham on Monday night, and I didn't get around that. Is that just Kenosha? Is that just above the border?
It is actually. It's probably maybe 12 miles north of kind of Waukegan, Illinois. So, yeah, it's right on the border there of Wisconsin and Illinois. I
was thinking he said, and maybe this is when I talked to him late last week, that it was after did you get back at 4:30, something like that?
I think the guys did.
Oh,
yeah,
all right. So you had a little start on them. Head start on them.
We did. But we stuck around for part of their game and then hit the road. And
I don't blame you.
It's a good trip back. So we got back early Friday morning, and then turned around and had practice Friday afternoon, and then we had a game on Saturday. So our kids really bounced back.
You were on a nice little roll before that trip north. You won 3 games in succession.
Yeah, we did. We had 2 of those at home with Kentucky State and Northwest Missouri State. Good competition for us. It was kind of back and forth in both of those games. And then we got a nice break for Christmas, about 7 days off. And then after Christmas, we had a couple days of practice, and we headed up to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and played at Davenport University. And that was quite a trip, Rip. It was supposed to be about a 6-hour drive. And in the middle of it,
Yes.
when the end of December in Chicago or in Michigan, you never know what you're going to get. And we got around Chicago, and I don't think we went over 45 miles per hour. And it ended up being about a 10-hour trip. But again, our ladies were resilient in terms of we got up there kind of late Friday evening and got
angry.
Up. Yeah.
And you belted them by 20, too.
Exactly.
Now, Carrie Kirchhoff is with us from the McKendree Bearcats basketball team, the head coach. So we haven't talked since you won your season opener, and now you're 5-6 overall.
Yeah.
So just a little kind of a midway or past midway point opinion of what's happening. Mostly pleased, pretty pleased, or what, Carrie?
You know what? I'm mostly pleased. I feel like we've really in the last few games have come together and played a little bit more team basketball. I think we have a really nice inside-out game. We have Shanira Wilson, who starts for us at a center position. And we also have a sub that comes in, Shaylee Florine, in that center spot. And they're doing a good job of finishing at the basket and a high percentage that people are worrying about them on the inside. So that really opens up the outside for Madison Hart and Jordan Heberg and Callie Pullman and Sydney Dekoff. And so we kind of have a nice balance.
And you're 1-3 in the Great Lakes Valley Conference in that Central Division. That is really tight right now. It's all jammed up.
It is, and we have a huge weekend here coming up, playing against our own in our own Central Division with Maryville University and UMSL. So we'll play Maryville at home tomorrow night at 5:30. If anyone wants to come out and join us, that'd be great. And then we play at UMSL on Saturday at 1 p.m. there. So it's a huge weekend. Very capable to get both wins. We just have to come, prepared. And I think what I keep telling to our team is being more determined and a little hungrier to win than the other team.
And we might add UIS, and they are still, that's the top team in the division. They're at the break-even point at 2-2. It looks as if Drury may be, at this stage, maybe the overall class in the conference. They've won 12 of 13 on the season, and they're undefeated in league play. Yeah, they are. And you know what? Sometimes I wasn't really excited to be the first conference game, but at the same time, it's done and it's over with.
So, I don't know if that's good or bad. We weren't quite at our peak time, right. But I think we learned a lot from that game when we did play there. Yeah. And anyway, I think the way it sounds, going to get better and better and better. But, what I noticed peering through your statistics, you make those free throws, don't you? We do. Knock on wood there, Rip.
All
yes,
right.
We do.
There we go. But, I mean, that stands out because a lot of times some of these, it doesn't with certain teams, whatever, high school. But that zapped me a little bit there. But, I mean, 78, 77, 76, and I can always keep you in game. That and some solid, some hard-playing kids on defense.
Yep, that is true. Our ladies do a good job of getting in on their own and shooting free throws, and they know it's an important factor of the game. And I've been proud of how they've kind of taken that on in themselves in terms of if we don't have time in practice, they're getting in the gym and doing it themselves. One true senior and a red shirt. Otherwise, it is Young City for sure. In fact, you only have one junior, I think, don't you? Maybe two. I think one. Yes, you're correct. We only have one junior as well. So it's, we might take some lumps this year, but I think there's some exciting times ahead. But the thing is, you are still, of course, playing for this season. I mean, you got a chance to do some good stuff and make that tournament and everything else. It is. Like you said, when you kind of look at our stats and such, I mean, it's not like we have one prolific scorer that's like our go-to person. We've had multiple people step up, and I mean, I can name off 2 to 4 people that have scored almost 20 points, and at the same time, everyone on our team has scored in double digits at some point this year. So it's a matter of who people want to defend one night, and that's fine. They can try to take out one person on the team or maybe 2. But we've done a really good job of having 2 or 3 others step up that evening to help us be successful. By the way, Carrie, really fast, did you catch some prep girls action over the holiday season, as far as that recruiting and all? Or we did. We went, Haley Sample, my assistant, went up to the State Farm Classic in Bloomington. And then I was over at Visitation Academy catching that tournament. And there was a lot of good girls basketball going on. All right. Very good, because it's always you have to have good coaching like you and your, but I mean, it still comes down to players, recruiting. Doesn't it? Yeah. Yep, it definitely helps. They make you look good. Paul Luska, Missouri State from Trenton and Trenton Weston. I mean, he's obvious. It's the lifeblood of college basketball, and there's no truer statement than that. It is, and it never ends. That's for sure. Yeah, right. He still does. He always tacks that on too. So, all right, Carrie, we'll appreciate it. We'll huddle up with you at least another time this season. Okay. That sounds great. Thanks so much. Thanks. See ya. Bye. Carrie Kirchhoff of McKendree of MacU. Thanks to her and also to Ben Crawford from the Western Lady Warriors basketball team and Scott Wernsman on Scores and Stuff. We'll be back Saturday morning for now, we have Dan Kipper. He's marked up from the Chrysler Rock girls basketball team. We'll go till 9:45, and then we'll join high school basketball from Highland.
But that's Saturday, and we'll see you then. Trivia, too, of course. This is Talking Sports, Real Sports Talk on Max 96.7 WCXO.
Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7 was powered by Hoffman Supermarket, the only choice for quality meats and friendly service. Talkin' Sports was brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College, the future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. McKendree University in Lebanon. Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department in Hoffman. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Thank you for joining us for this WCXO sports presentation of Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7.